Hey, Jer.
Hey, Ken. How you doing, bud?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. How's the weather?
It's cold. It's much warmer in here.
Come in and get a little trim today?
Just a little bit.
A little bit, eh? Hey, Ken, I want you to meet Glenn.
Hey, Glenn.
Glenn's the expert skate man of Ann Arbor.
50 years. I've been doing this over
50 years, but not here 50 years for you.
No. He's got about 10 or 11 years.
10 or 11 with you?
Yeah, really. Takes care of guys like this. They come in all day long.
I'm a madman.
Look at this. Everybody's getting their skates done.
Yeah.
He's busy all day.
Yeah,
Who's busier, you or him?
Well, from 11 to 3, he gets the busiest.
Oh, okay.
Why don't you come on over and take your coat off?
I will. How long you been here?
30 years.
And what made you decide to get into this great biz?
Well, I used to be a construction worker, and this is a piece of cake compared to construction, you know. I was a drywall guy. But I came down from the UP, and I figured I had to have something to do for the rest of my life, and what else is there, you know?
Now, I come in here today, all right, I'm not all that famous. Who's the most famous person ever
Well,
come in
I've
here?
had Bo Schembecker has been a real good customer of mine for years.
Right.
Of course, Mr. Berenson, he's been around, and Keith Jackson up here. I've had him in a chair.
Keith Jackson.
Yeah, he's a pretty good guy.
Well, now I pale by comparison, Jim.
Nah, you're doing okay.
All right, that's
I
not
watch
quite
you on TV every now and then.
Well, that's good. Now, the Wolverines all come in here or what?
Well, most of them do. The ones that like to keep their necks clean. Some of them are actually cut their own hair, I believe.
Who's the most finicky Wolverine you got coming in here? Let's get some barbershop details.
Oh, I got to say Camarelli.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Mike's finicky?
Oh, yeah.
Why? What's he like?
Well, he wants there's not too much off the top, a little bit off the sides.
Okay.
But he wants to look good for the ladies, you know.
Yeah, you haven't seen finicky until you got me. Well, there's great history in this place, and we're going to be here for the next half hour while he takes just a little bit off the top. Let's preview for you what we got coming up on this week's CCHA Weekly. This week's edition of CCHA Weekly is brought to you by Olympia Entertainment. And welcome back to CCHA Weekly as we continue to take a little bit off the top. First, Jerry, I got to ask you, how did you get the name Coachin' for?
Well, this barbershop at one time when I bought it back in '72 was called Ferryfield Barbershop. And nowhere was I going to work in a place called Ferryfield. So I've always been a John Wayne fan. So there was 4 chairs in here, and I originally fixed it up like a stagecoach stop. It was coaching 4 horses. But then after getting all the coaches up here from down the street, I got a little smarter. I kept telling them that this was their barbershop. So it panned out sweet. That's how the name came.
So all the coaches think that it's
their barbershop. This is their home away from home,
all right,
which works out well.
Speaking of coaches.
Yeah, like Mr. Berenson.
Red Berenson walking right by, and he's coming in.
He's coming in. Yeah, I just gave him that haircut before the last game. I think we cleaned him up.
And Red, did you really get your hair cut here 3 weeks ago? You were in here?
Absolutely, yeah.
Beautiful. And you don't need another one today, do you?
Well, I'm coming in to see you. I'm surprised to see you here.
Well, I appreciate it. Nice seeing you. Yeah. All right. Well, listen, you mind sitting down right here while you're here?
Not at all, no.
We'll talk a little bit because, after all, I've just congratulated the coach of the team that finished first in the CCHA, Red. Congratulations. How does it feel?
Well, it feels good, Ken. It was, you know, it wasn't something that we expected, certainly not at the start of the year, probably not at Christmas time, but in recent weeks, you know, our team has played consistent. We've won the games we had to win, and it was a good race right to the last game.
Did you think first place, Red, though, was something you had to have?
Well, I don't think so, Ken, but it was something that was achievable, and it was a great goal for our team in recent weeks, and I think it put our team in a situation where they learned how to play in big games, and that's what you want this time of the year.
You must have scared you a little bit, learn how to play in big games, considering you have 11 freshmen. I mean, it's amazing how you're able to do it. What did these guys learn first and foremost this year?
Well, I think the big thing was that we had great leadership from our upperclassmen, and starting with our captains, Jed Ortmeyer and Shanae and Camilleri and Bancic. I think they set the tone for the young players, and that made it an easier team to coach. You know, the attitude on the team, the coachability was so much better than it was last year with a huge senior class. And they bought into everything that we needed them to do, and then we got a little bit of luck and some breaks along the way. But, you know, the thing that amazes me about this team is they were able to win on the road. I mean, literally lost only 1 game out of 14 road games this year.
You're rebuilding. This team rebuilt it into a winner. You're also rebuilding Yost. You must like what's been done to the arena.
Well, it's a great building, and you know the atmosphere there is exceptional. You can't replace something like that, and you can't build something like that. But what we have done is added a nice new scoreboard, and as well as the new seating balcony on the State Street side. And you know, the seats are great. I mean, if you go up there, you don't want to sit anywhere else. The sight lines are unbelievable. It reminds you of the balcony in the old Olympia, and I know you've sat up there probably when you were a kid and threw nickels at us when we were playing there, but maybe pennies.
Pennies.
Yeah, but really, those are the sight lines. Like it's straight up and down. So anyway, it's a great old building, and the inside is fixed up, and yet the old atmosphere is still there.
Yeah, as a coach, it must be great for atmosphere.
Well, as a player, it's great too. You come out on the ice, and you just feel great when with the crowd, and the noise level there is super. So, and we've even added some speakers now, so any of the music besides the band music will blow you away.
Well, Yost will be hopping this weekend. Good luck, Red. And speaking of hopping, there's Mike Camilleri. You know what? I don't think he's just coming in for a haircut either, Red. Mike has skates in his hands. Hey, Mike. Oh, he's giving them to Glenn. Glenn's going to do some work on the skates. Mike, you're here, Red. Will you mind sitting down for a moment?
No problem.
Well, I guess the first thing I have to ask you is, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. Yeah, I didn't know how well I was going to feel this weekend, but I felt great, and my cardio was pretty good, so excited about our stretch run here.
First 2 games back for you, and you had the mononucleosis. For those people that don't know, it hit you at such a bad time. I guess any time's a bad time. How rough was it for you?
It got pretty bad at times, but I was bedridden for a while and all that. I lost quite a bit of weight, but I guess it's like anybody else that has had it. You just kind of let the virus run its course, and got back here, got in classes, and started getting things going. And now I just want to keep it in the past, and it's forget about it and move on. All
right, let's move on to Lake State. How do you feel about the playoffs upcoming?
Oh, I'm very excited. I think our whole team is. We're playing well recently, and that's a good thing to have coming into the playoffs. So we know Lake State's going to come and give us our all, and we're happy that we can play them here at home, and hopefully we'll have some fun this weekend.
What's the future hold for you, drafted by the Los Angeles Kings?
Yeah, I mean, right now my future is here. You know, I'm a junior, so I got some time left at Michigan, and then after that, we'll see what happens.
Now, just one final thought here, because Jerry over here, who's doing my hair today, says you're a little finicky about the haircuts. I said, who's the most finicky Wolverine? And he said Mike Camilleri. Any truth to that?
Well, I mean, I don't want to say I'm finicky, but I keep Jerry in check, because sometimes he gets, if he gets a slippy hand or something, I want to look good, so he does a great job. I always come in here, he takes care of my hair. I think it looks pretty good, doesn't it? Not bad.
You look great. I know what you're talking about, that slippery hand. I got spliced earlier, bleeding like you wouldn't know for how long. Mike, Red, as I call the Red Cross here, thanks to both of you for joining us today. Appreciate it. Here at the Barbershop, Jerry Spot in Ann Arbor at Coaching 4.
Thank you.
We've still got a lot more to come in this half hour of CCHA Weekly.
Welcome back to CCHA Weekly. I'm Michigan forward Mike Camilleri, and this week's trivia question is, when was the last time Michigan won the CCHA regular season and the tournament championship in the same season? Welcome back to CCHA Weekly. I'm Michigan forward Mike Camilleri, and once again, this week's trivia question is, when was the last time Michigan won the CCHA regular season and the tournament championship in the same season? The answer is 1997, although the Wolverines lost in the national semifinal to Boston University. Ken, back to you.
Thank you, Mike. We'll see if the Wolverines can follow up a conference championship with a playoff championship. Each week here on CCHA Weekly, we bring you our Where Are They Now segment as we check in with former players to see what they're presently doing and share their college hockey memories. This week, we hook up with 4 guys that played at the same school and were united again through hockey. This week, it is truly a Where Are They Now segment. Shireen, thank you. And speaking of thank yous, Jerry.
Yeah, well, thank you, Ken. It's been a pleasure.
Pleasure's all mine, and I look great, don't I? And all the gang
here.
Oh,
you look awesome.
Here at Coachin' 4, thanks very much for their hospitality here today.
Stop by anytime.
You got it. CCHA Weekly is brought to you by Olympia Entertainment.